Hello there you guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and today I'm just actually updating you on some more current latest news. So if you do consider subscribe as always, and if you do consider drop your likes on the video, and if you do consider, as I just said, subscribe as always. So the first topic of the development is there's quite a lot to discuss about on this current video today, but we are going to start with some players contract renewals. I'm going to currently give you an update on, going to give you a bit of an update on my opinions why I think Solsjaker should get the job on a full-time basis, because obviously we didn't make any signings throughout the January transfer window, as I currently said, and it was a pretty shame, to be quite honest with you. But reports coming out in the last week, so I have been hearing that we're going to get around the £200 million spending spree to spend in the summer. I could see, and also players are going to leave in the summer as well. I think at least 3 or 4 players are probably going to leave in the summer, and we'll have to look at, recommending in 3 or 4 new additions into the club, as I currently said. And obviously we're still looking to hire a director of football, to come into the club before obviously, commit to any future signings. And obviously we're still looking for a manager on a full-time basis. And at the moment, I still think it does remain Mauricio Pochettino #1 at the moment. But obviously our move for him looks in jeopardy. So I think now Solskjaer could be in pole position, to get the job on a full-time basis at Manchester United. But we'll start on the topic of the development about some contract news. I'm going to give you a bit of an update on, as I've been keeping you up to date in the last couple of days. So the first breaking news I want to update you today, it has come out in the media today, just to give you an update on in relation to Ander Herrera. Reports have been coming out saying that Ander Herrera is demanding that he wants a new contract at Manchester United. I think he's earning around just £75,000 a week at the moment, but reports coming out saying that Man United are in advanced talks of getting Ander Herrera a contract extension. I think Ander Herrera is 29. I think he's been a very, very consistent player. I think he's been very, very, very influential in our midfield, since we got him in 2014, so I think he's been a very, very good player, since Louis van Gaal, got him, from Atletico Bilbao, as I currently said. And I think, especially, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's coming, I think he's playing a big part in the team. Is Solskjaer, he's getting more regular starts from the start, and I think he complements our midfield very, very well, alongside Matic and Pogba and all that, because that's our trio, and they look very, very effective, alongside each other. And I will be really, really pleased if Ander Herrera, does sign a new deal at Manchester United. But reports coming out saying that he's demanding he wants a new contract. Reportedly negotiations are progressing, and we are close to getting him a new contract at Manchester United, which is very, very good news. Also reports in relation to Ashley Young have also come out in the media. Came out a couple of days ago saying that Man United have also been in talks of securing him a new 1-year extension at the club as well. Obviously, we're not going to be willing, to offer Ashley Young a new long-term extension, considering that he's age 33, as we all know, and obviously he's only got a couple of years left in his current playing career. As I said, obviously he's our first choice right back, is Ashley Young, but reports have been coming out with, we've been in talks. We're on the verge of getting him a new 1-year contract, new 1-year extension with around, I think, £110,000 a week. But since he's been here, he has been here since 2011. We paid £17 million for him from Aston Villa. At the time, when he was a lot younger in his prime, he signed a 5-year deal, did Ashley Young, as I currently said. And since he's been here, I think he's just made under 300 appearances in all competitions. Obviously, he's been in the Premier League a lot of years now, as Ashley Young, and he's been at Manchester United a good 7-8 years. And of course, he's won everything here. But I did say we do need someone on that right-hand side, because I do think Ashley Young's past it. Obviously, Valencia's also 33 as well. And I would, at that right-back position, I would like to see, Diego Dalot come in, to be quite honest with you. But in relation to Ashley Young, obviously, he's been our first choice right-back. And as I did say, when he was younger, he was mainly right-winger, was Ashley Young. But obviously, we operate him as right-back. We have put him on the left-hand side, now and again, when we do give Diego Dalot a chance on that right-hand side, as I said. But reports coming out saying that we're close to agreeing a new 1-year extension for Ashley. I'm pretty disappointed about this, to be quite honest with you, because I thought he was one of the favourites that we're going to leave Manchester United in the summer, considering that he is age 33 now, as I currently said. So I thought he probably would have left in the summer, but looking likely we're going to come to terms on greening him a new 1-year extension. And we're disappointed that we got Montomin a new contract back in January. I was happy that we did get Anthony Martial a new 5-year deal with an option of a further year as well, because his progression's improving. And obviously for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's point of view, we want Martial to improve even more now that he has committed his long-term future at United, and he has signed a 5-year deal with an option of a further year as well. And his wages have increased. He's getting around £200,000 a week now. as I currently said. But yeah, in relation to Antonio Valencia, we do have the option to extend his deal by a further year as well, Antonio Valencia. But to be quite honest with you, I think Valencia is going to be going in the summer, to be quite honest, because obviously Valencia can't get in the team, as I said. He's one of the longest serving players at Manchester United, you know, as well as Ashley Young is Antonio Valencia. Valencia has been here in, what, 10 years now, Antonio Valencia. He's made over 300 odd appearances he's made since he's been here. Of course, he's won everything here as well, Antonio Valencia. And he was good when he was a lot young in his prime, and he's grown and developed very, very well, Antonio Valencia, as I said. And of course, as I said, he's won everything here. But obviously, this season, he's hardly played in the Premier League, and obviously, you know, he's absent, you know, from the squad, is Antonio Valencia. So obviously, Ashley Young has been fulfilling his role, as I said. And there's other players, you know, I do expect to leave Manchester United as well. I do think players will be leaving. I think Jones and Smalley, you know, could they be leaving next season, as I couldn't say, because I think mainly now, you know, Bailly and Lindelof are going to be first choice under Ole Gunnar Solsjaker, because I think they complement each other very, very well. And I think the likes of Victor Lindelof, who I think has really, really improved for Manchester United this season, you know, and I think, you know, Bailly, who's got great potential, his composure is very, very good. I think them two complement each other, but I think them two are on a different level, you know, to Phil Jones and Chris Smalling. We're all aware that we do need a strong central defender, you know, we need an experienced central defender to put alongside Lindelof on Eric Bailly, as I currently said. So I do think probably Jones and Smalling probably will go in this summer as well. And in relation to Matteo Darmian, you know, I do think Matteo Darmian will be leaving Manchester United as well, because Matteo Darmian is another player that's enjoyed a very, very difficult time, you know, at Manchester United, Matteo Darmian. And obviously, you know, we have triggered the 1 year extension on his current contract, Matteo Darmian, so we can cash in for the player in the summer, you know, if in the process, if offers do come. As I currently said, it did say Juventus inquired and Inter Milan were interested. And obviously, Darmian, when he was a lot younger in his prime, you know, spent the majority of his playing career, you know, in Italy as well. And we've had him here since 2015, of course, since, you know, we got him under Louis van Gaal era, you know, Matteo Darmian. But to quite honest with you, I do see him leaving Manchester United, because obviously he can't get in the team as well, Darmian. So yeah, I do see, you know, quite a few players leaving, you know, to be honest with you. And obviously Manchester United have also been in talks, you know, in relation, you know, to Juan Mata as well. I haven't heard much news about that lately, but was it a week or two ago, I did update you that reportedly we're in talks of getting him a new 1 year contract extension at Manchester United as well. Obviously, again, we're not willing to offer him a new long-term contract, because considering that he's age 30 now, he's Juan Mata as well. You know, there was a narrative throughout the January transfer window. I think it was the last week or so towards the end of the January transfer window that reportedly Barcelona were interested in. Barcelona had approached his Juan Mata's representatives. It also said Arsenal had also showed an interest in Juan Mata as well. But as I did say, you know, his current deal, you know, does come to an end in the summer, does Juan Mata's. But I think we're in the process of trying to get him a new 1 year extension, as I said. But he's been in the Premier League, you know, a number of years now as Juan Mata. You know, he has been at United since, what, 2014, so he has been in a good 5 years now, and he's made over 200 appearances. I think it did confirm that his current Juan Mata's agent and his father was in discussions with the club about getting him a new 1 year extension at Manchester United, as it did confirm. But as I did say, you know, when he was a lot younger in his prime, you know, he played under Rainray, you know, for 4 years, Valencia, and he actually began his career with Real Madrid. And I think, you know, Juan Mata did admit before, you know, that he did miss Spain, as he currently said. But we know since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's come in, we know mainly Juan Mata hasn't been first choice on that right hand side. We know mainly Jesse Lingard has been first choice on that right hand side. As I currently said. And in relation to Marcus Rashford, he's another player we do want to get a new long-term deal at the club as well, Marcus Rashford. Reports have been coming out saying that Man United have reportedly, you know, been in talks with securing Marcus Rashford a new long-term deal. We're also willing to double, more than double his wages as well, because I think he currently receives at the moment around £60,000 a week, does Marcus Rashford. But I think his current deal does end in 2020, you know, with an option of a further year, does Marcus Rashford, as I said. But he's been a great player, as I said. He's a great addition to the squad, as I said. I think he looks very, very effective, you know, centrally, as I currently said. And we know mainly he's been first choice over the likes of Lukaku and Sanchez. You know, Martial and Rashford have been first choice over Lukaku and Sanchez, as I currently said, because as I did say, what Rashford can offer up front, you know, Lukaku is not capable of this, as I said. But yeah, reports have been coming out saying that Man United have been in talks, you know, of getting Rashford a new long-term deal, as it did confirm. And Rashford's been a United player since the age of 7. He's progressing up the ranks very, very well. He's grown and developed very, very well. And he's only 21 years of age, so he's still got years and years ahead of him, you know, to develop and get better and better and better. As I currently said, Marcus Rashford. And he's been in the senior squad, you know, since 2016. His progression's been absolutely fantastic. You know, he's made 100 Premier League appearances now, scoring on his 100th Premier League appearance as well, you know, which was fantastic. You know, I think he's made over 150 odd in all competitions. I think this season he scored 10 goals in like 30 games. Marcus Rashford this season as well. But I think he's one of the best young players, you know, in world football at the moment, because he's in great form. He's obviously playing more of a key role now under Ole Gunnar Solsjaker. And obviously there's been rumours going on in the media saying that Real Madrid are reportedly, you know, interested in Marcus Rashford. Reports coming out saying that Real Madrid were reportedly willing to put around £100 million for Rashford in the summer, and willing to offer him around £200,000 a week. But as I said, Rashford has no intentions. He's happy at Manchester United. He's a Manchester United player, and he's been one, you know, since the age of 7, as I said, and his progression's been absolutely fantastic indeed. But hopefully we can come to an agreement of getting him a new long-term deal. But we know the likes of Martial, Rashford and Lingard, you know, all young players, as I said, and their progression's been fantastic, you know, especially, you know, under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We know they've mainly been the first choice over the likes of Lukaku and Sanchez. In relation to Lukaku, I think, as I do keep saying, I think, you know, his form's been slightly rejuvenated under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Lukaku, when he has had the chance, Romelu Lukaku, you know, I know he's a big game baller. His first touch does concern me, you know, there's Romelu Lukaku's, as I currently said, and he is slow, he's Romelu Lukaku, but you've got like the likes of Lingard that can press out the pitch and has got pace. You've got the likes of Martial who's got pace, who can press out the pitch as well, and Rashford can do the same. But Lukaku, you know, cannot do the same, as I currently said. But he's still a proven prolific goal scorer, as he has proven, you know, throughout his playing career, you know, in the Premier League, you know, Romelu Lukaku. But I'm sure he'll get more opportunities, you know, to try and prove himself more under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer with Lukaku. And in relation to Sanchez, and he's enjoyed a very difficult time, you know, since he's come at Manchester United as well, as Alexis Sanchez, because Sanchez has really struggled, you know, since he's come to United. You know, he has been here over a year now, as Alexis Sanchez, as I currently said. Obviously, he's not the same type of player. He's nowhere near the same type of player, you know, he was at Arsenal. Of course, he's been in the Premier League a lot of years now. Obviously, he spent quite a few years, you know, with Arsenal as well. But he's only been at Manchester United, you know, now over a year, as Alexis Sanchez. And obviously, he is a versatile player. But obviously, when we do play him, we mainly play him on the left-hand side. And obviously, that number 7 role is his main role, Alexis Sanchez. But obviously, since he's come to United, you know, he's lacked development. You know, he's failed to really establish himself, as I said. And to be fair, he has enjoyed, you know, he has suffered quite a few injuries, as Sanchez as well. But you know, to quite honestly, I think there's areas of his game he does need to adapt, and I think he's lost the harder pace now. Don't forget, you know, Sanchez is aging up now. But if he does maybe get more of the opportunities under Solskjaer, somewhere along the line, Solskjaer could maybe try and, you know, rejuvenate Alexis Sanchez's form. But definitely, you know, Sanchez does need to improve, obviously, because he's on over £500,000 a week, as I currently said. So we do want Alexis Sanchez, you know, to improve, as I currently said. But yeah, obviously Manchester United. I've got plans, you know, for the summer. You know, obviously the Manchester United board are obviously making plans, you know, for the summer, you know, to get some new players in, as I currently said. And there's been a host of players, you know, that have been mentioned in the media, you know, today. I do want to give you an update on as well. A new name has been mentioned in the media. Well, I think I've spoken to him. I've spoken to you about it, you know, quite a while back. Reports have been coming out earlier on today, as I have been reading in relation to Raphael Varane, you know, the current Real Madrid centre-back. Reportedly, he's a player that Manchester United have been linked with for the last couple of windows, Raphael Varane, because obviously we obviously do need a strong central defender, as that is confirmed, you know, someone who can play alongside Lindelof and Eric Bailly. But yeah, Raphael Varane has reportedly, you know, been mentioned in the press today. It's in the Sun, it's in the Sportsmail, it's in a couple of media outlets that saying, the Sun actually reported saying that Manchester United have identified Raphael Varane as their number 1 summer target, reportedly. But obviously it does look very unlikely we'll get Raphael Varane in the summer anywhere, because obviously Real Madrid won't be willing to sanction him off. And throughout his playing career, you know, he's been an absolutely fantastic player. He's only young still. He's only 25 years of age, is Raphael Varane. And since he's been at Real Madrid, I think he's won over 15 major honours. He's made over 200 other appearances. You know, Raphael Varane, you know, his performances in the World Cup, you know, were fantastic in 2018. His performances were good. I think he played every minute at the 2018 FIFA World Cup. You know, back in the 2014 FIFA World Cup, he got nominated the Best Young Player award as well, based on his performances in the World Cup in 2014 as well. Raphael Varane. Reportedly, if he was for sale, it would probably cost in the region of around £100 million. But I think we've been linked to him in the last couple of windows, as I currently said. I think he's still got 3.5 years left on his contract, Raphael Varane as well. And he's a great central defender, as I currently said. And he's on another level. I think he's comparable, you know, to Koulibaly, to quite honest. because Koulibaly is a top-class central defender as well. I think Diego Gordon's a top-class central defender as well, but obviously he's, 30-odd years of age now, so I wouldn't recommend Manchester United, where to go for him. But yeah, he's a great central defender. He's Rafael Varane. I don't see it happening, to be quite honest with you, because I don't think, Real Madrid are willing to do business for the player, as I said. And he's been at Real Madrid, since 2011, so he has been there, a number of years now. As Rafael Varane, he must have been there good, 6-7 years now. He obviously used to be at Lens, where he actually began his youth career. I think he only spent one season in the senior team with Lens, and then basically, went to Real Madrid, and he grew and developed, and he's turned out, to be an absolutely fantastic player. As Rafael Varane, as I said, he's won so much at Real Madrid, as I said. But I think from a Real Madrid point of view, they do want to keep Rafael Varane, so it is unlikely. But reportedly, Manchester United may consider, going for Rafael Varane in the summer. But I can't see it happening, to be honest with you. I think, Koulibaly looks a lot more likely, that we're gonna get to Old Trafford in the summer, as I currently said. But also targets, Manchester United have been interesting as well, is obviously Harry Maguire. He got mentioned, I think, last summer, did Harry Maguire. And again, I like Harry Maguire. He's Premier League proven. I think he's very good in the air. I think he's really good at latching onto set pieces. As I said, I think last year, back in September, he did sign a new 5-year deal with Leicester, did Harry Maguire. He probably is rated at around 50-60 million pounds, to be quite honest with you. But, to quite honest, I think we can double his wages as well. I don't think Leicester can double his wages, but I think if he came to United, we could double his wages. But he's Premier League proven, and I think his performances for Leicester this season, have been very good indeed. So we know that actually Manchester United have, of course, have been linked with him as well. But we know, obviously, his major number one target mainly for the summer is, well, it's come out earlier on in regards to, Rafael Varane saying that he's our number one summer target, but it's unlikely we'll get him anywhere. We've got a lot more chance of getting Koulibaly in the summer, as I currently said, and he's a great player, Koulibaly, as I currently said. Reports have been coming out, I think, saying what his agent or his former agent did demand that it could cost Manchester United around 90 million, just under 90 million pounds to get him to Old Trafford in the summer, and I think he's eager to join Manchester United, his Koulibaly. I think he intends to come to Manchester United in the summer, as we all know, because as we all know now, he looks very unhappy, in Italy with Napoli. And as I do keep saying, I think the majority of this was due to the racial abuse, he suffered back in December on Boxing Day last year, of course. He has still got a contract with Napoli till 2023, so he's still got about 4 years left on his current deal, with Napoli, as I said. But we know, obviously, Manchester United wanted to get a deal over the line throughout the January transfer window. In the process, Manchester United, of course, had 3 bids turned down for the player. The recent one was 95 million pounds that had been turned down, for the Koulibaly. But obviously, we were willing to make him the most expensive defender in world football, as I currently said. But obviously, I think the most expensive defender in world football at the moment is Virgil van Dijk, because Liverpool paid 75 million pounds for him, and obviously Liverpool in their scenario, addressed their defensive deficiencies, with the signing of Virgil van Dijk. And to be honest, I hate to say it, but I think he's been very influential, in the Liverpool team as Virgil van Dijk, since he's gone there. And is he age 27, 28 now? Virgil van Dijk, but that's something we need to do. We need to address our defensive deficiencies. We have improved defensively under Solsjaker, but Koulibaly would be absolutely fantastic. He'd fit the Manchester United agenda, and if you put him alongside Lindelof and Eric Bailly, he would look fantastic indeed. And Napoli only paid, £7 million for him from Genk, as I currently said. That's all he currently paid for Koulibaly, but I think he's eager to join Manchester United, of course, an ex-Genk and an ex-Mets player as well. And he's 27, so we'd still get a lot of years, out of Koulibaly, as I currently said. So we have obviously been linked with him. We know Toby Alderweireld's name has been mentioned as well. Obviously, we were in talks with Tottenham of getting Toby Alderweireld last summer. But Toby Alderweireld, as I said, I do have concerns about him now, because he is 29 years of age, and as I do keep saying, I think he has lost a yard of pace as Toby Alderweireld, to be quite honest with you. I think he's lost a yard of pace, and I think he needs to adjust his game more, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. Does Toby Alderweireld, he needs to adjust his game more, because obviously he can prove to be a world-class central defender, can Toby Alderweireld. He can prove to be a world-class central defender, but as I did say, he's 29, and I think he's lost the pace a little bit. Obviously, Tottenham have extended his current deal till 2020, so there's a 25 million release clause included, for the summer for this as well. But of course, we have been linked to Toby Alderweireld as well, so we know his name's been mentioned. We know that RPL's big central defender got mentioned as well. 20 years of age. He's called Daya Upamecano. I might have pronounced his name wrong, as I do keep saying, because I think his surname is actually hard to pronounce. He's called Daya Upamecano. Manchester United, of course, have been linked to him as well. Well, a report come out the other day saying that Manchester United had showed the player Upakanya, 20 years of age, RP Lesby player. Reportedly, he's got around an 88 million release clause as a player. So that's a staggering, quite a lot of money, for a young player like that. Don't really know much about him, to be honest with you. He did say Manchester United and reportedly, Bayern Munich reportedly interested in him as well. This player, and reportedly, RP Lesby, I think, just paid what £10 million for him when he signed for RP Lesby. I think it's 4.5-year deal with RP Lesby. Did the player as well, but he's also been mentioned. We know obviously Milan Skriniar has also been mentioned in the media as well, so he's been one of Manchester United's targets as well as Milan Skriniar. Again, 23 years of age. He's nowhere near on the same levels as Koulibaly or the Rafael Varans, as I said, or even the Sergio Ramoses, but he's only young. He's only 23 years of age, and don't forget he is 4 years younger than Koulibaly. Is Milan Skriniar, as I said. I think since he's been in at Milan, his performances have been very, very good indeed. With Milan Skriniar's, don't forget. But I do rate him, and I think he's rated at around 75 million pounds. Is Milan Skriniar, as it did currently say. So we are linked with a host of defenders, obviously. But it is important that we do strengthen up in the summer, because obviously I think Solsjaker can get us back to where we want to be. I think he can get us in that commanding position where we want to be. And if we do get a couple of signings in the summer, I think we can potentially be title contenders. Without a shadow of a doubt, I think we can be title contenders. But obviously our objective this season is obviously to get into that top 4 position. Obviously that's our objective this season, to get in that top 4, and hopefully somewhere along the line we can win the FA Cup. And that would be fantastic from a Manchester United point of view, and obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as I currently said. But my opinion is why I think Solskjaer, should get the job, in my opinion, at Manchester United, because I think he's the right man for Manchester United. Because number one, he knows everything about the club, he knows the culture of the club, and he knows the club inside out. There's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because he was a great player for 11 years, as I've already said on numerous of my other videos. He was a great player, under Alex Ferguson. He had 11 great years under Alex Ferguson. He won trophies, so he's proven it. He's proven there. So he does have that winning project. Does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and obviously when he managed the Manchester United reserve team, he won a couple of trophies there. And obviously this team we've got now, obviously we know we spent a lot of money. We spent 400 odd million pounds under Mourinho. We spent 700-800 million pounds, since Ferguson retired. And we've seen players come in, and we have seen players leave as well. But in relation also to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I think he knows what he's doing. I think he tactically knows what he's doing. He also knows his best 11. There's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as well. And he's obviously got us playing in the right vein, the right manner. And he's got us playing that brand of football we used to play under Fergie, for 26, 27 years. We're getting positive results. He's rejuvenated the team, and as you can see, the improvements in the team with defensive, they look better. The defenders are showing the determination that they want to get higher up the pitch. That the defenders showing that they can play out from the back. I think we've got since Solskjaer's coming, I think we've got good ball playing midfielders in the likes of Herrera, Matic, and Pogba, and also too I think Martial's playing very, very well. I think Rashford's, playing very, very well. Lingard's playing very, very well. So the majority of the team are playing very, very well, as I said. And in relation to Matic, I've been impressed with him since Solskjaer's coming. I think he's improved. I know he's slow, just like Lukaku, and that's slow. We have got a couple of slow players in our team, but I think his distribution's improved. I think he's looking more effective in his passing. He's the Nemanja Matic. So I think the Nemanja Matic has really, really improved, to be quite honest with you. But for me, Solskjaer knows what he's doing. But he did say back in the January transfer window, he didn't expect Manchester United to make any signings. He said it was unlikely that Manchester United were going to make any signings, as he did say. But Solskjaer has been discussing, about getting the job on a full-time basis. He has been discussing about this, and reportedly we're going to get around 200 million pounds to spend in the summer, obviously, for the investment, as I said. And we can afford this because we've got the financial power, to basically get some expensive players in the summer, considering that we didn't spend any money, in the January transfer window. But I just think, Solskjaer should get the job, because I just think he knows what he's doing. Look, since he's come in, we've played 10 games, 10 games unbeaten, won 9 out of 10, as I currently said. 25 goals scored, only 7 conceded. We've won 4 away from home in the league. We've won 5 away from home in all competitions as well. And that is an absolutely outstanding record, from Solskjaer's point of view. And another thing, he shows that inspiration on the touchline. He doesn't rest on his laurels. If he sees he will address it. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as well. And obviously, he wanted the players to express themselves, get them enjoying playing football again, and this is what Solskjaer, has exactly done to the team. Pogba, looks very, very effective in the number 10 role, just behind the centre forward. I think Paul Pogba, is getting the freedom to express himself more. The front men, getting the freedom to interchange closer together. Fullbacks again higher up the pitch. So I think he's got the team playing, again, as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and he's brought the belief and the fear factor back to the team. And they are playing together as a team. As I said, the work rate's good. Everything's very, very good at the moment. As I said, and the structure of the team's right, the cohesion of the team's right, and it's very, very good, and he mainly goes with the 4-3-3, does Solskjaer, or the 4-2-3-1, but obviously he does rotate as well, does Solskjaer. He did confirm, obviously, when he came to the club, he was going to give the young players the chance, to show what they are capable of, and to be fair to Solskjaer, he has completely done this as well, but in my opinion, Solskjaer suits the managerial style of this club, he suits the chaplains of the club, definitely. And I think, Ed Woodward should consider, giving him the job on a full-time basis, as I said. And we know there's obviously been talks of Pochettino, and Pochettino, he's been, there's the narrative's been going on about Pochettino, for quite a while, to come in. We heard the rumours, even when Jose Mourinho's here, that, we were look, the rumours started coming up about Pochettino being linked with the Manchester United job to come in on a full-time basis at the end of the season. But the difference between Pochettino and Solskjaer is Solskjaer's proven, he's won trophies. I'm not slating what Pochettino's done, because he's done a really, really good job with, with Tottenham Hotspur, and, he did good at Southampton. But in terms of silverware, Pochettino has not won out, as I currently said. So he hasn't won out in terms of silverware, as Mauricio Pochettino. He hasn't won anything, but he's got a good record with Tottenham. He had a good record with Southampton as well. Don't forget, did Mauricio Pochettino. He had a really, really good record, and he's done really, really well at Tottenham, and he's been there, 5 years now. He's only spent £50 million since 2014, and Tottenham, are definitely, in the race this season. They're doing well, considering they've got two of the superstars out. They've got Kane out. They've got Dele Alli out as well of Tottenham Hotspur, but they have come close on a couple of occasions, to winning the Premier League title of Tottenham Hotspur. But they had a chance, that season. Leicester City won it as well. Tottenham had a chance that season as well, but they didn't. And I think they're in the mix this season as well. Tottenham Hotspur. I think they'll definitely get into the top four, and I think they'll get Champions League football for next season. But Pochettino has done a really, really good job, and he signed a 5-year deal last summer. Don't forget, with Tottenham Hotspur as well. So, and I think a few clubs have been interested, in hiring Pochettino. When it mentioned Chelsea and it mentioned Madrid as well. But obviously, from my point of view, Solskjaer, if we were to give him the job on a full-time basis, obviously it would be a cheaper alternative. And obviously the money, the 40, 50 million pounds or whatever it would cost us, to get Pochettino in on a full-time basis at the end of the season, we'd save that money, keep Solskjaer, and get a signing with that money, as I said. So I just think it makes sense, that we keep Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And I don't think Pochettino will leave Tottenham anyway. I think he's happy at Tottenham. He's fully committed to Tottenham, as I said, and he's very, very happy at Tottenham. And as Danny Lever said 2 or 3 weeks ago, he's standing firm. He's been ruthless over this, as I said, and he isn't willing to let Pochettino go, as I said. He's not willing to let Pochettino go, as I said. Was it a while back, that Zinedine Zidane had been mentioned as well in the media. And Zinedine Zidane's obviously is a good manager. He has managed at the top level, because he did very, very good with Real Madrid. And there were reports coming out in relation to Zinedine Zidane that he was destined, to come and manage in the Premier League, because obviously he's never managed in the Premier League, Zinedine Zidane, but he was good at Real Madrid. He won trophies with Real Madrid, did Zinedine Zidane. And obviously we know there was a narrative about him being linked with a managerial role at Manchester United. Zinedine Zidane, but obviously, as I said, he was good at Real Madrid. He was good as a player with Real Madrid. He won trophies. He was good as a player at Juventus as well. With Zinedine Zidane, as I said, and he's won a lot of trophies. And I don't think he's back in management at the moment. He has been managerless since May last year, something like that. Zinedine Zidane has been managerless. He wasn't the favourite. I think he was just below Mauricio Pochettino was Zinedine Zidane, and we know obviously, after the, Jose Mourinho sacking, there were a lot of managers' names that were mentioned who could take the job at Manchester United. But obviously we know Pochettino's mainly, being the number one, as I currently said. But I think Solskjaer should get the job on a full-time basis. But Obviously, Manchester United have got Fulham at Craven Cottage on Saturday. As we all know, it's early kickoff, so we do have a great chance of getting into that top four. We have a great chance of getting into that top four because obviously Chelsea play Manchester City on Sunday, as we all currently know, which is also going to be a good game. I may do a preview on that. I may not. I probably will. To be quite honest with you, because we do this on this channel, as I said. But yeah, we could go we could go fourth and we could go 1 point in front of Chelsea because as it currently stands at the moment, we are sitting 2 points behind Chelsea. We're 1 point in front of Arsenal, as I said, and there's quite a few teams going for the top four. There's obviously Arsenal going for the top four because obviously they want to invest more money into their club and obviously they want to get Champions League for next season. Chelsea have obviously going for it to maybe try and keep Sarri in the job because we know basically Chelsea are known for sacking managers because they sacked quite a lot of managers in a short period of time, and reports been coming out in relation to Chelsea saying that Roman Abramovich, who is currently the owner of Chelsea, obviously I think he's a billionaire anyway, he's confirmed that Sarri could be, he didn't say he will be, he said Sarri could be sacked if Chelsea fail for the top four and obviously if they don't get into the Champions League for next season. Obviously Chelsea and Arsenal are in the Europa League, so obviously one of them will be looking to win it to get automatic Champions League qualification if obviously Chelsea and Arsenal don't get into the top four. But my opinion, I think Manchester United will get into the top four as I currently said. But anyway, we go to Fulham at the weekend at Craven Cottage. Should be an easy win for Manchester United, to be quite honest with you. Fulham are in the relegation zone. I think this season out of 25 games, they've won 4, drawn 5, lost 16. I think they've scored 25 goals and they've conceded 55 goals. So they have got, one of the worst defensive records in the Premier League of Fulham. The last meeting obviously was 4 goals to 1 to Manchester United. As we all currently know, we won 4-1. I think in that game, Matt scored his 50th goal. And I think he got his 50th assist in that game as well. Did one matter against Fulham, as I said. But Fulham are a very poor team, and it should be an easy winner for Manchester United, as I said. And Fulham have only won 1 out of their last 5 games, as I said as well. But going into the game, as I said, as I did update you on my current preview earlier on, Solskjaer is probably going to be rotating the squad in this game because obviously Solskjaer is aware that these big games coming up. Obviously he's going to rest some key players, obviously, against Fulham. Obviously for the, game against PSG in the Champions League on Tuesday. And then after PSG, it's Chelsea in the Cup. And then after Chelsea in the Cup, it's Liverpool. So he'll probably make numerous changes in the Fulham game. Probably he'll play some fringe players in the game, maybe give some youth maybe the chance as well, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But there was reports coming out saying that Lukaku could start against Fulham. Diego Dalot could come into contention as well. Maybe Chris Smalling, could feature him as well. Because Chris Smalling obviously hasn't played for 12 games. He hasn't played a match under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer so far. Because obviously he's recently had a foot injury, and I think he's just recently, recovered from injury. As Chris Smalling, as I currently said. Obviously Fulham's his ex-club, as I said, so he could be actually in contention, to play against Fulham. Rojo's back in training because obviously he's recently been injured as well. I think he's been injured for quite a long time, but obviously it's confirmed he won't be featuring in this game, Marcus Rojo. But it did say, Fred could be in contention as well. Fred, who's hardly, he hasn't played that much, at Manchester United, since he come. Obviously, we paid £52 million for him last summer, as we all know as well. But he's hardly played at Manchester United, to be quite honest with you. So it did say Fred could be in contention. Dalot could be in contention. Smalling could start. Lukaku could start. Maybe Sanchez, maybe giving him an opportunity as well. So I do think he'll rotate the squad, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as I currently said. So it won't be the strongest team he'll go with against Fulham on Saturday. He won't go with the best 11, as we all know, because obviously he's going to rest some key players, obviously, for the game on Tuesday against Paris Saint-Germain. But in relation to Fulham, going in this game, Fulham have got injury problems themselves. Obviously, they've got Claudio Ranieri as their manager. Fulham did get 2 players on transfer deadline day, I think. They got one of them on a free transfer and they got the other one on loan. They did get Lazer Markovic on a free transfer from Liverpool on deadline day. So there's been reports in relation to that saying that he could make his debut for Fulham at the weekend, Lazer Markovic. He was at Liverpool. I think I heard about it anywhere. And also on deadline day, they signed Havard Nordvay or something like that. Can't pronounce his name, I do apologise, but they got him from Hoffenheim on loan as well. So reports saying that he could make his debut as well for Fulham at the weekend as well. Fulham have obviously got injuries to Alfred Mawson. I've actually never heard of Alfred Mawson. They've got injuries to him. Andrea Skrilla, who can score goals, to be quite fair. Andrea Skrilla reportedly he's not going to be... he could feature, but he has recently been injured. They've got other injury positives. Fosu-Mensah's not injured, but he won't be featuring in this game, as it has confirmed as well. So Fosu-Mensah won't be playing. And also to Marcus Bettinelli is also out with injury as well for Fulham. So Fulham have got a few injury problems of their own. We haven't lost to Fulham, since 2009 as well in the process. So we haven't lost to them, since 2009. So that's what, 10 years ago now. I think I can't remember, what was it, 2 or 3-0 the beat us, back in 2009, was it, or something like that, Fulham. And obviously the game before, the 4-1 game this season at Old Trafford, the last time we played Fulham was back in 2014, before the 4-1 earlier on in the season, and that was 2-2, and in that game, I think there was, 81 crosses in that game, and I actually was at that game. I think it was under the David Moyes era. We was winning the game 2-1, and I think Darren Bentham had scored in stoppage time in that game. But I saw the stat, and we actually, there was 81 crosses in that game. As I currently said, that was back in 2014, so that was 5 years ago. As I currently said now. But yeah, in my opinion, as I do currently said, should be an easy 3 points to Manchester United. It's Solskjaer's 11th game. We've won 9 out of 10. So Solskjaer's looking to win 10 out of 11 at Manchester United. As I said, 100% record's over, but obviously we still remain unbeaten, which is the most important thing. And we are going to be prepared, for the PSG clash. We know it will be a difficult game, but we've got good news going into that PSG game. That obviously they've got Neymar out for injury as well. I think he's out for up to 10 weeks with a foot injury, is it? Or something like, I think it's a broken foot or something like that. So PSG are missing Neymar, but we know that they've still got good players of PSG. I think Adrien Rabiot's set to leave on a free transfer in the summer as well for Paris Saint-Germain. He did allegedly say back in January that he'd agreed terms to join Barcelona in the summer on the free transfer, because obviously PSG have withdrawn him from the senior squad because obviously he's refusing to sign the new contract, and his deal comes to an end in the summer. There's Adrien Rabiot's as well. So I think he's set to leave in the summer. PSG obviously did confirm the signing of Leandro Paredes, the 24-year-old Argentinian from Zenit St. Petersburg in January as well. They did out on the Idrissa Gueye PSG, because I think they put 2 bids in for the Idrissa Gueye Paris Saint-Germain, but I think Everton, turned 2 bids down. They turned 1 down as well on a transfer deadline day, as I said. So they did miss out on Idrissa Gueye because PSG, were keen on getting him. But as I did currently say, PSG are obviously sitting top, the French league, obviously the best team in France. They've obviously now their unbeaten record's over because they lost to Lyon. They lost to Lyon. When was the Lyon game? They played Lyon. They lost to Lyon on, was it Sunday, something like that, because obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was then. That's another good thing as well. Solskjaer's obviously sat there because he knows the game's coming up, and he's sussing out the way they play, the brand of football PSG play. That's what he's trying to figure out, is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and that's why, he was currently there in the current process. But PSG's at home on Tuesday. I think the second leg's, is it around, the 6th of March or something like that, where the second leg, as I currently said. So yeah, so I do think Solskjaer should definitely get the job on a full-time basis, in my opinion. I've given my reasons why, because he's brought the confidence back in the team, he's brought the fluidity back in the team, and he's got us playing the way we used to play under Alex Ferguson, as I currently said, and he's rejuvenated the team. And you can see the vast improvements, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's coming in. I would give, we are going to get £200 million in the summer, as what it's saying, but I think, this £200 million kitty should be given to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because I do trust him with this money, because we've got a board that can invest in what Solskjaer demands that he wants to bring into the club, and I really would trust, Solskjaer with the money in the summer. As I currently said, it was a shame he didn't get the money in January to spend. But yeah, I think we'll be planning to do that in the summer. But he's going to have a big say in the summer anyway. He's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's going to have a say as it has confirmed. But in terms of, Raphael Varane did get mentioned in the media the other day. It did say Man United reportedly identified him as a number 1 summer target. But we know his name's been mentioned before that, Manchester United have showed an interest in Real Madrid's Raphael Varane. But in relation to Madrid, I don't think they're willing to sell him off anyway. He has still currently got 3.5 years. Is it left on his current deal with Real Madrid? Raphael Varane, highly experienced, 25 years of age. He's a very, very good central defence. So if he was to come to Manchester United, he'd have a lot of years. He'd have a lot of years, to come to the Premier League, as I said, with Raphael Varane. But obviously, I think Real Madrid are keen on keeping him. It will cost us a staggering amounts of money, to get Raphael Varane, to Manchester United. As I currently said, it will cost us, quite a bit of money to get him in. But I think he'll probably, end up staying at Real Madrid, to be quite honest with you. But we know Koulibaly looks a lot more likely, than Rafael Varane does, as I currently said. And he's a great player, 25 years of age, and he's won over 15 trophies with Madrid. He's made over 200 odd appearances, with Madrid, as well, as the player. And yeah, he's a sensational, central defender, as I said. But I think Koulibaly looks more likely in the summer, to be quite honest with you, guys, as well. So, anyway, guys, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe to my channel, as always, and take care. God bless, guys. See you all again very, very soon. Thank you. And what do you think to the news about Ander Herrera? He's on the verge of signing a new contract, and he's demanding he wants a new contract as well, as it has confirmed. We'll probably more likely give him a wage increase in his contract he does sign as well. I think he's currently on, he's on about £75,000 a week at the moment, so he isn't a top earner at the club. But yeah, so anyway, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider, as I said, subscribe as always, and take care. God bless, guys. See you all again.